Hey everyone, it's James Moore here. Hope you all had a good spring break. This is my commemorative speech for public speaking. Today I'm going to be speaking about an experience I had in the base honor guard here, the Air Force base that I'm stationed at. I've always kind of had the interest in joining honor guard just because I thought it was a very honorable thing that the people do in honor guard to show respect for the fallen military members, and it kind of gives some closure to the family for the military if it's their last time seeing anything or dealing with the military, or if it's their first time ever. It's just good. It was just an amazing thing to see them represent. I was approached by my supervisor one day, and he told me that if I didn't, he gave me the option to volunteer, but I was told if I didn't volunteer that I was probably going to get told to just do it. So I went to one of my buddies who was actually the guy that I would be replacing in honor guard if I decided that I was going to join. And after talking to him, he kind of talked to me into it. I talked to him about the things that you did and if it was hard. And it sounded like a challenge at the time, but I decided it was something that I really wanted to do and be able to represent the military in that sense. First, after joining, I went through a 2-week training course along with 5 other people. It was pretty tough. It was just hard learning all the different movements that you have to do, and memorizing every single position in a funeral sequence is one of the main things that we had to do. And then we had to do a whole funeral sequence, and 2 weeks sounds like plenty of time to do it, but it's a lot to learn in just that little time. Along with learning all of that, it's constantly trying to make you laugh. Actually, I'll see if you can hold your bearing. They actually use a rubber chicken. Some of you may have seen that in videos on Facebook or things like that. And another thing that they did for us is they picked our phone, or used their phones and opened Snapchat and put the different filters in our face and tried to get us to laugh that way. But most of us were able to keep our focus, and everything was good. We all graduated, and since graduating, I've done a few funerals, and one funeral in particular stands out to me because it was one of the times I was carrying the ashes of the military member that passed away. He was Air Force. His father was actually prior Army. His parents were not very old, so I'm assuming, I didn't know his age, but I know he must have been young because his parents were not old at all. We usually get set up, you'd say, about 30 minutes before the family and the hearse arrives. And once the hearse arrives, myself and the, leader of our group, we march up to the hearse, and I pick the urn up with the ashes inside of it, and the other guy picks up the flag, and we march back to the rest of our team. Then we marched towards the mock-up where I sat down the ashes, and it's right in front of the family. We begin to unfold the flag, and as we unfold it, the chaplain kind of talks a little bit. Then we hold the flag open for a little bit, and the chaplain speaks about the person, reads scripture, stuff like that. And then we fold the flag back up, and then we march off. And we have, for this particular funeral, we only had 3 people doing the 21 gun salutes, so it's not a full one because he wasn't active duty at the time that he passed away. They shot off their rounds and they marched off, and I was the person that went to pick up the bullet casings from the rounds that we shot off. And as I was picking them up, I kind of thought to myself, maybe these people want them. Usually whenever we give the bullet casings to the family members, they ask for them, but they didn't ask for the casings. So I just happened to walk over to where the family was and kind of kept my distance because it was just an emotional time for them. They were all grieving, crying, hugging each other, hugging different family members, and they saw me and walked over to me and immediately started thanking me for what we'd done for their family and just how we honored their son in front of them and for their family and friends to see. And I told them thank you, and I told them I was sorry for their loss, and they thanked me again. And I asked if they would like the bullet casings that we shot off, and they were very, very pleased that we still had those, and that I actually came and asked them to if they wanted them. And the father, he shook my hand, and the mom would have hugged me if she knew that she could, I believe, because she was just crying so much, and she was just very thankful. And I shook both of their hands, and as I was walking away, I kind of had to hold back tears because it was just it was such an honorable thing to be able to be a part of that for that family and them show so much appreciation. And I was just so glad to be able to do that for them and respectfully honor their son. Thank y'all for watching.